Now I could see you. You good? Why are you
All
freezing?
right. Yes, we're good.
Okay. Okay. You clear? You nice?
All right,
Wait.
good. There we go.
Oh, you look like you freezing, man. Just you holding still. Okay, now you're good.
We're good. We're good.
This how you look when you buy new iPhone. We ain't reached there yet, kid. We ain't reached there. This the iPhone. This the new iPhone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Here we go again. You're playing sweet music. You still in touch with? Let me call her government name. Um, Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Think back to when we did do one session on St. Albans Drive.
Oh, wow. 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 No, not in a
With,
long time.
but I saw a picture of her
Yeah.
last week, and I was like, "Damn!" The last time I saw is with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we worked on that album, and then everything went to hell.
Right, right.
Like,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
You
get
ain't
into
gotta explain it.
details, but
Yeah.
right. But
All right, here we go. Here we go. I
that
just thought I'd ask.
that
That's
person, boy, is something
Dorothy's special. She's special. Here we go.
very special.
Star 106 hits. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to another featured Thursday right here on your hit station. We're talking about Star 106 hits. It's a Thursday. Thursday means we dive into the music industry. We find the best of the best. We find out who's doing what and not who's not. We want to know who's doing it. You know what I mean? And today and this Thursday is absolutely no exception. Today's show is being powered by KFC, Rev, CG Atlantic. Thank you to, of course, Serenity, Discount Distributors and Produce Express, Lactogen 3, distributed by Lightborns Trading, the Galley at Sunrise, Juicing for Life. I want to say, of course, thank you to Lactogen 3, distributed by Lightborns Trading. And of course, Guinness Smooth has also got us this hour. All right. Thank you to everybody that's locked and loaded. Channel 976 on cable. Of course, Star 106 and Natural Empress on Facebook. Thank you and good afternoon to all of you that I see tuned in. It's so good to see y'all. Find out what's happening in our industry. And today is no exception when it comes to finding out who's doing it. And when they're doing it and doing it and doing it well. So I want to welcome to the show none other than the one. I can try it again. PADRINO. That's how it go, right?
Yeah, that's it.
PADRINO, you laughed. I know how it go. Do it for me, please.
You know what? I wish I had the sound bite.
It's all good. It's good to have you. The last time we spoke, last year, you were doing it. And when I got the call last night, I was super excited because anytime you come around and if you call me, if you pick up the phone to call me, I know it's magic. And I deliberately did not listen to this song last night. I said I want to listen to it with my audience. But tell me what's going on in your world, man.
Man, a lot of releases. I built a studio here in Miami. Just so I can get work done a lot more efficiently. Tons of releases, man. Tons and tons of releases. I just dropped 3 new records actually. One was Abbey Road. I did that the day of my grandmother's death in Ireland. I wrote that on that day. That was a tough one, but that's a very beautiful record. If you've ever lost a parent, I know, me and we've shared that, we've shared that experience. I did another one called Is This Love? That was actually produced by a Bahamian producer, a young guy, very talented. He's worked on Jack Hill's project with me as well.
Who is that? Are you let me not guess the name. You tell me who the name is. I can.
Sorry, yeah. So Freddie Got Sticks, he's his name. Very talented young producer.
Sure.
Um, I did a song with him called "Is This Love." So I dropped those songs back to back, like within a few days. And then I had been holding on this other record. I've been recording this other record for like 3 months. Like it just took me that long because I was supposed to have a feature from Romain Virgo on this record. He actually just messaged me. Ironically enough, we're talking now. I just got a message from him this morning, pretty much apologizing, for not being able to do it because he has some label stuff that he needs to take care of. But we're still talking about working together, in the near future. And then Christopher Martin was also supposed to do, a feature on it as well. But what we did is we decided to just let me, put the record out myself. And now I'm actually going to go after a Layla Ike feature. So that's who I'm going to put on this record next. So yeah, I'm working, man. I'm
Is
working.
it safe to say that your love and real passion is in the producing?
You know what, man? I feel like it's kind of a blend. It's kind of a mix because I've now come into a very comfortable spot in my songwriting, and in my performance of singing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very well known within the reggae industry and hip hop industry for writing as well. So that's what's starting to happen now is I'm starting to, show my real fruits, you know what I'm saying, and bear my real fruit when it comes to music. So my real passion, I would say, would be kind of both, just music in general.
Now, you're obviously not here. You made mention of, making your home in Florida, building a
Yeah,
studio, which is a major, major investment. So it says that
yeah,
you ain't just fluffing through. You ain't coming to buy a couple toiletries in Miami and Walmart. You're there
yeah,
for a minute. Do you
yeah.
think the answer to the real growth of the industry is getting out of here?
I believe that getting out of anywhere, if you live in a localized place, right? Take for instance artists in Miami. You know what I mean? If artists in Miami just stay in Miami, they're not going to grow their network. They're not going to get their music heard in Atlanta. They're not going to get their music heard. Now bear in mind we live in a world where the digital world kind of makes things a little easier. However, presence felt is a lot different. Like me picking up the phone and calling you, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a more personal connection.
Exactly.
If I never had met you, then I can't just hit you up online. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's up? I got a new song. You're not gonna know who I am. So it
So
creates a more personal experience, and people tend to gravitate more towards people that they can actually see, as opposed to just a stranger online. That's because we all get those emails, we all get those messages in the DMs. Hey man, listen to my song. You know, but it's not effective as you actually going to those places. So yeah, I agree with that. Getting out of the country is important. It's traveling is very important to this business.
well, even though you're away, I'm sure you're keeping tabs on what's happening at home. Just
Yeah,
in a quick sentence,
yeah.
what do you think of the industry at home right now?
I would like to see more growth, um, when it comes to, and I always say this. That's always going to be my argument is the growth in quality, and Bahamians taking time to really dive into the quality of their songwriting and the quality of their production, the quality of the engineering, taking the extra steps that we in the industry take, to have your stuff engineered and mastered properly. Not just putting it out there for your boys to listen to in the car on the weekend. I think it's important that we focus on our image, on our sense of production when it comes to how we show ourselves on the TV screen, which we've been actually doing very well with that lately, with advances in technology. So I'm proud about that. But there's still a lot of things that we can do when it comes to marketing Bahamians. Putting your money where your mouth is. I've invested a lot of money into myself, and you know, it got me this far. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still going. So, I've invested enough to keep me going. And that's what I think Bahamians need is invest in yourself, man. Believe in yourself enough, but take it serious. Don't just do this for your own listening pleasure. You're gonna be disappointed in what people say about your music at first, but eventually you become better. And that's how you become better. You're gonna be criticized. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be ridiculed for what you do and how you sound, but that should make you better. That shouldn't make you, you know. I watched a lot of artists, man, get frustrated back home. I talk to artists all the time. I try to give advice to Bahamian artists all the time. But the one thing that I tell them is focus more on the quality of music that you're putting out, and you will be respected more.
Now, absolutely well said, and I get that. But the key to it all and everything
Yeah,
that you said is funds. So do
yeah,
you think because of the lack of, I mean, you basically get what you pay for, eh?
right. Well, here's the thing. If I want something in life, I have to learn how to sacrifice what I want for. When Bahamians want to party, they find the money for everything. They find the money for outfits. They find the money for bottles of Hennessy, for whatever, you know what I'm saying? So if you can find the money for those things, for your vices, you should be able to find money for your passion. And that's how I look at it. It's all about sacrifice, and we have a very party-like society where, the fun don't stop. But is the fun worth your passion? And are you willing to take that sacrifice and make that sacrifice? Put a couple dollars on the side every time you get a chance and make that sacrifice for what you actually really want in your life.
Okay, now how many? And I'm sure you get the calls all the time, but and I don't want to put you on the spot as such,
That's all right.
but is there any artists at home right now that you have your eye on that either you have your eye on them and you want to do something with them,
Yeah,
or you're presently doing
def-
something with any of them?
definitely. There's this young girl, Kia. There's another, my boy Sanjado. There's a little dude named Scoob. Listen, that boy pressure, right? Man, there's so many names that I because I get in contact with all of these guys all the time. The twins got the twins.
Yeah, twin.
Um, Even in the entertainment sector, guys like Overdose, you know what I'm saying, that is making a name for himself. In general, there's tons of acts that I'm looking at, and that I'm working with. Currently, I think Sanjado is about to come over here in a few weeks, to do some work with me. But I'm definitely keeping my eyes. I always keep my eyes going on at home, because that's where my heart is.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. I wanna definitely be the first to play this song. We're gonna do that in just a sec. Gonna find out what's happening on the streets of Nassau. We got our traffic report followed by another featured Thursday right here. It's Star 106 Hits.
Is brought to you by Shield Insurance.
All right, so I'm going to play the song when we come out of the break.
Right. I got
Sunshine.
another Bahamian talent in here right now.
Say what?
Yeah.
Who that is?
He from the crib too. And listen, the boy Bud. You hear
Wait,
me?
wait. Tell him
But he
come to the
is.
camera. Let me see what he. Let me
But
see
he
his
is.
face.
Come talk to her, bro. But he's from the crib.
Yo, what you saying?
Boy, what's your name? He laughing. What's
HOP.
his name, Drano?
HOP.
HOP. Sing, rap. What you used to?
I do it all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like to switch it up and keep it versatile.
For real, where you from? Nassau?
No, my people's from Crooked Island, but I'm here in Miami too.
Crooked Island. Stop
Yeah.
that. All
In the
right, nice, nice. I guess we will talk real soon.
All right, yes,
Hey,
ma'am.
listen, and the boy nice.
HOP. Man, I
Yeah, the
weak.
boy nice, man. The boy, like, he'll remind you of like some Hove and Lil Wayne, and like he's very lyrical.
Yeah?
Yeah, very
From
lyrical.
Crooked
Definitely
Island. Crooked Island representing. That ain't bad.
building.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like
man.
that. All right.
But
But
nah,
then, as a producer who's
yeah,
been sought after by so many people internationally,
yeah,
I mean, the level and when I say the level
yeah.
that someone needs to be at, or what level do they need to be at to get a session with you? Other than, of course, they got to pay for it. But I mean, are you brutally honest? Because that's the problem I think with a lot of the artists here. They got their Grammy and they, like you mentioned,
Right,
the cousins
right.
and thing, and mommy and daddy saying yes, my boy. When the truth is no, boy, go get a job. How
I'm
brutally honest are
more.
you?
it's like this. If I see the talent in you, I'm more subject to wanting to work with you more. If I don't, I will always tell you, I think you need to work more on this. I'm not gonna just take your money, you know what I'm saying, and just run with it without telling you, hey man, this ain't it. I'm gonna tell you this ain't it. And you're gonna know this is not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We know what is professionally sounding right, and what the comparison of that is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just fail to really register that in their brains.
I
But
got to, I got, we're going live again. Hold on.
all right.
Hold on.
Capital city of the Bahamas.
Alrighty, and we are live.
This is Star 106.5 FM.
Star 106 hits. Yes, indeed. Another featured Thursday. I've got the one Padrino with us. And off air just now, we were talking about what it really takes to get into a session with Padrino, who's being sought after by so many artists internationally. Now, Padrino, now that I'm seeing you on the screen, I'm remembering that 2 weeks ago, 2 Thursdays ago,
Yeah.
I had I had Dyson,
Yeah.
Ferreno, Bodine, collectively as we celebrated MDs. So
Yeah.
before we go any further, I want you to just, because we're talking about the Bahamas making it, we want to see more global artists.
Right.
What was how far, how close do you think MDs was to definitely smelling international success?
I firmly believe he was cusp of it. Even speaking with some of my colleagues from over here, and colleagues in Jamaica, MD's was a talent to be reckoned with. His pen was mighty. I will say that boy had a pen on him that was something ridiculous. Even talking with Jacure, when I was working on Cure's project, Cure even brought up MDs. You know what I'm saying? Because MDs wrote Telephone Love. A lot of people don't know that. Um,
Let's
and
talk it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But man, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about this. But I actually have a song that I dedicated to him, um, that me and Zoltan and a few other artists had started to work on, but due to some complications, I'm not really sure. They decided to not drop it, but I am actually going to release the song, and reproduce it and release it myself, because I feel like he deserves that. He deserves that recognition. He deserves to be celebrated. Me and Deez have had our journey as well, from back in the days with Bapes. Um, you know,
Exactly. That's why I want you to talk.
yeah, so we had started to, go our separate ways and our different paths, but we had similar dreams and aspirations. And that's one thing I can tell you I admired about these, is that no matter where we came from, that boy still went out into the world and did his thing and made his mark on the world. So I respected him for that. I respected his grind. And my last conversation with these was, we kind of were like, well, we hadn't talked in a long time. We needed to kind of put BS aside and really, get back to recording some good music. And we had spoken about that. And then unfortunately, he came to his rest, So I felt like, when I did the song, and you're going to hear it, trust me, you're definitely going to hear it. You're going to feel what I felt when I found out about it. Um, and I owe that to him, and I think we owe him the respect that he deserved. It's unfortunate that people tend to give you the respect once you're gone. We tend to not give people their flowers until they're in the grave, and I think that's something that we need to change. In society today.
Sure. This song that I'm about to play,
Yeah.
give me some insight.
So I wrote this about my daughter's mom, actually.
Free your
That's why.
mind. Let me let us know.
Yeah. Well, when I started to write the idea, we were still together. Um, and it's a beautiful song. She calls herself, I guess, Sunshine. So it was just one of those things, I was in my feelings about it, and I wanted to express myself in a way, that I never had before. Um, and I did. You know what I mean? It took me 3 months, and this is after we had broken up. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
you
I
want to tell her afterwards?
no, I mean, but I had already started the process of the song. You know what I mean? So I
Okay.
wanted to go finish the song because it was such a beautiful record. So that the initial idea was about her. You know what I'm saying? And then I just completed the song, even though we weren't together anymore. I just completed the song because I felt like it was one of those songs that can be generalized for love in general. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So I
so you ready?
and
I want you to introduce this one.
so you're about to listen to my brand new single called Sunshine, produced by me and a young kid named Dream Bills with my homegirl Natural Empress.
There you go. Right?
Good morning, my sunshine, yeah, my baby. Let your love shine down on me, yeah. Woke up feeling so in love, and you're more than enough. Yeah. I choose for love, to be loved, to be loved. What a wonderful feeling to be loved, give me love, yeah. Girl, you give me a reason, yeah. I think I found what I've been looking for in a woman, yeah. I'll never let it go. Good morning, my sunshine, yeah. My baby, let your love shine down on me. Yeah, why I'm feeling so in love, and you're more than enough. Yeah. I still choose to love. I'm not so perfect, baby. I wear no disguises, but you are worthy. Yeah. You know you can run it. I'm spreading it around and your blessings come down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Boy, this you are cure, boy.
That's me. What you mean?
Hold on, let me listen again.
Yeah, my baby, let your love shine down on me. Yeah, woke up feeling soft in love, and you're more than enough. Yeah, I still choose for love, to be loved, to be loved. Oh, what a wonderful feeling to be loved, to be loved, yeah. Girl, you give me a reason, yeah. I think I found what I've been looking for. Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm never letting go again. Good morning, my sunshine, yeah. My baby, let your love shine down on me. Yeah, woke up feeling so.
It's not 106 hits. Say you heard it here first. The sounds of our very own Padrino. I wish I could get that right. Wait, you got it? Do it again. Hold on, let me turn on your mic. Do that for me real quick. Again. So let me do it again. So that was the sounds of our very own
Padrino!
All right, I gotta let that one slide. Oh my goodness, the track called Sunshine. Now, Padrino, before I even turn up your mic, listen to me. He sent me the song from last night, and I purposely, intentionally decided that I was not going to listen to it until we listen to it collectively. And I mean, usually when we get a song, you listen to see, if it's radio worthy. I know I didn't have to do that. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, I wanted that element of surprise. And by golly gosh, I got it.
That's a bop.
Because I man, listen to me. I know imposters whenever I hear them. I know the sound of likes, but I am so floored not knowing that. I mean, I know your sound, but I wasn't expecting that. I ain't gonna lie to you, Padrino. You're my boy, but I
Yeah,
wasn't expecting that.
yeah. Nah. You know, I think this is what Barris Hearn actually said the same thing. When I was writing for Cure, he actually assumed that I was Cure when he was listening back to my records. You know, and he was like, "Yo, this man dangerous. You need to be careful." You know what I mean? Um, so it's me. It's my vibe. You know. I think that's why my writing for him made so much sense at the
Sure.
time. You know what I mean? And this is why we did a lot of records together because we had similar cadences. You know what I mean? And the style of singing. I just for me personally, I tried to have my own personal character in the way I sing. You know what I mean? And you will hear differences. You know what I mean? If you really listen,
Oh,
if you
yeah, without a
yeah,
doubt. But just at the first, like when you talk about a first glance, just the
yes.
first listen is like, huh?
Yeah, definitely. No, and I get it all over. I get it. Like even King of D's in New York, when they aired it in New York on the weekend at Irie Jam, even at Zip FM in Jamaica, everybody's like, "Hold up, who is this?" Because he sounds like Cure, but he don't sound like Cure. Who the hell is this?
Yeah.
It's been a great response, man. For my records, and it all started last year, with the All For You record that I did with DJ Chrome about my daughter. And that's when the ball started to roll. So I'm really into the Rockers vibe right now. And
You know,
we, huh?
and I want you to teach people something this afternoon. Right
Yeah,
away, I recognize the rhythm. I know where it's from.
yeah,
Um, and if I know you and know that you understand the business, you would have gotten clearance.
yes. So what happens is I made sure that the owners. So here's what's happening: the owners of Studio One have passed away.
Exactly, Sir
That
Clement
right.
died.
So rhythm.
Okay, so we're losing you for a second. I want to take a quick break anyway. We're going to explain that
Okay.
story in
All
just a
right.
second. Understanding licensing. We're going to do
Yes.
that when we come back right here. Free of Mind, another featured Thursday. Our very own Padrino. Right here on Star 106 Hits.
If you're a business owner, get ready because the digital transformation is here. As a business owner, you now face the choice.
Yeah, my first impression was I
Hey,
really thought
let
that
me
was
just make sure I can hear
Shakira.
you. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. I can let you tell that story in just a second. But yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. You what you say?
No, I was saying yeah, from like my first impression, I just played. I'm like, hold on.
You thought he must he sent a song that he produced.
That's what I was thinking. And then I did listen to this more like, wait, hold on, this ain't Cure. Wait,
Right.
wait. But
Yeah.
like
You fooled me.
I know like a lot of artists, they get offended when you compare them, but it's not the comparison is not necessarily
Has he heard it?
You know what's crazy? That boy stays keeping his eye on me, even though he wouldn't admit it.
Okay. All right.
Trust me. Watch
you
this.
know.
The song I did last year, All For You. So when DJ Chrome actually approached him first to record on the rhythm, he refused it.
Okay.
Right. But once he heard my song, right, like 2 months later, he drops a song on the same rhythm. So
Yeah,
like,
sure.
but if you listen to his song, you could literally hear where he's copied my shit.
Ah!
You know what I'm saying? No, listen. He even used the cadences that I use. He used certain words that I use. My song was called "All For You," right? Where I say I walk 500 miles for you. So he named the song "1,000 Miles."
Oh, use 500 as a thousand,
Wow.
King.
You get what I'm saying? So like he was trying to like one up me. But like if you really look at the reviews of the song, everybody, and I do mean everybody, I killed that rhythm.
What's the rhythm
Hands
called
down.
again?
What the rhythm called again, bro?
It's called All For You. It's
We can find out.
on the Between the Lines rhythm. It's called All For
I
Okay.
You.
can look that up.
Between the lines. Hold on. We're going live again.
Okay.
Star 106 Hits, another featured Thursday. Today's special guest. Always good to have him. Always filled with knowledge and so much good music. And we just debuted for the very first time Sunshine by our very own Padrino. Now, like I said, Padrino, before we took the break,
Yeah.
like I said, that rhythm is definitely one of the most recognizable
Yes.
in reggae music, in the history of
Yes.
reggae music. So I wanted you to just explain to those that, they're doing this for the fun of it or don't understand the business of it. Tell them
Right.
exactly what you had to do in order to get use of this rhythm.
So okay, so my the guy, the young guy that I produced this record with, his grandmother was involved in the production of this. She somehow had links to Studio One. Now I know that the owner of Studio One has recently, has passed away a few years ago.
Mhm.
So the issue of clearance is kind of up in the air since the guy has passed away. And this song is from, from the 60s, from the
Right.
70s, right?
60s.
So from the Heptones, actually from the 60s.
Mhm.
So what happened is I just contacted my publisher. I said, look, I need you to find out who owns, the publishing rights to this. And I need to make sure that I'm giving them, I'm telling them that, hey, I'm putting out this record and this record contains a small snippet, which is only a 4-bar loop. Everything else is stuff that I added. So the organ here, I played the organs, the background vocals is all me. There's samples in there that I use from a sample free, a royalty free website. So I went about it in the right way of making sure that I did things to where I wouldn't have any problems, if I released a record. And knowing that the person who actually created this is now deceased, I can actually, I can go ahead and drop it, and I'll just deal with the persons who now own the publishing masters. So it's only a 4-bar snippet. So how it works is if you have anything over a 2-bar, 4-bar, 6-bar, it all depends on how much of the sample you then have to just get permission from the licensor, the person who actually owns the masters. So I advised my publisher, hey, I need this cleared, and I send it to her, and her job is to go and find who owns the masters, and I've actually given a percentage of the production towards them, whoever owns it. So we've allotted a certain amount of production royalties for that.
See what I mean? It's so important that you understand the business. And this is where a lot of people are gonna, get caught with their pants down. So,
Right.
as I say to all of the up and coming artists, even artists that are quote unquote established, it's so important for you to understand the
Yeah.
business. And that's what one thing you've always been 10 steps ahead of the industry for the most part.
Yeah. No, I pride myself on learning new things. I too have been through record deals that were not necessarily the best for me. And I had to learn the hard way and I had to educate myself. But every time I went through something, I went and read up on it, and made sure that I knew what I was doing when I got myself into it.
Sure. So now that usually when somebody's a great producer, um, like I said, you find yourself shuffling the deck. Today is when Thursday. Am I producer, Padrino today, or am I
Right.
artist? How are you able to juggle it?
You know what? I think me being a producer for so many people kind of is what gives me that balance. So whenever I do work on music for myself, nobody's here. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually in here. I usually have one of my homeboys come and hit the record button for me, or I'll be running back and forth into my booth and recording it myself, because it's a lot of intimate type of session for me. Um, but being that I write so much and produce so much for people, it's become very easy for me to translate into the artistry side of it and into writing to the writing side of it. It's become like the back of my hand. It's just natural to me now.
So let me ask you another question. What has the acceptance been like when people find out that you are from the Bahamas?
Everybody's mouth drops, to be honest. The thing is like I think everybody expected me to be from Jamaica. You know what I mean? But I don't sing in a patois necessarily. You know what I'm saying? My English is still very clear. You know what I'm saying on my records.
Fair enough.
Uh, I try not to make it, where I'm sounding Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Jamaican. Um, but if I have to write songs for a Jamaican artist, yeah, I can get into that right away. Because I understand the lingo and I talk to Jamaican artists almost on a daily basis. So, but I still needed to maintain my own self, you know what I mean? And maintain who I am. So I try not to dive too deep into the patois and I just need to be heard. I just need to be English, you know what I mean?
Just being
So
yourself.
so here's the thing. Jamaica and its music is world renowned. It
Yeah,
covers the four corners of the earth. You can find it
every
everywhere.
yeah.
Um, was there any thought about possibly rake and scrape?
I've worked on Rake and Scrape songs with other artists. I love Rake and Scrape music as a Bahamian. I think it's something that's in our blood. It's it's just like John Canoe. It's just
I
something that
want to disagree with you on that, but
well
continue your
what
thought
I
process.
mean by that, what I mean by that is that there's Rake and Scrape songs that we grew up with that will forever live with us.
Okay.
So that's in our blood. The saw, the sound of a Junkanoo drum, the style of Rake and Scrape music to a Bahamian is definitely something that we'll always love and adore. However, I have yet to see it been done in a way that can be internationalized to where it can be done to where it can be commercialized. Our Rake and Scrape music is always very authentically Bahamian when it comes to the stories that it's telling. So how does that translate, to an international listener? We don't know nothing about cuckoo soup over here. We don't know nothing about certain things. So how do we translate these things into a commercial aspect to where an international audience can actually understand what we're saying? And how do we turn that sound into a commercial sound? So I think that that's something that Bahaman Bahaman has probably been the closest people that I would say that have been able to at least try to translate, you know what I'm saying? What is Rake and Scrape and Junkanoo sound? But it's been more Junkanoo to me than Rake and Scrape.
Sure, but
Um,
just Bahamian, just however you want to classify it,
right,
just getting the sound of the Bahamas on
right,
the worldwide stage
yeah,
is what struggle is. And again, if we look at the history, T Connection has fused it with funk. Johnny Kemp has done the R&B. Like you
yeah,
said, Baha Man has mixed it with pop, and
right,
it's worked.
right.
So who's next? Like, why is it that
But
we don't have
think about it. But if you think
next
about it,
person?
when it comes to it authentically rape, right? All of these artists that you just named, all of these bands that you just named, still had to add another element of music in order for it to be accepted. So I think it's about the quality of songwriting and what we're talking about in the songs, right? Um, that the world can relate to. Like all of the Rake and Scrape songs that we know as classics, no foreigner can really relate to that because it's authentically Bahamian.
Right.
So I think that writing songs that can be internationally accepted is probably a very big part of changing that outcome.
Well, with people like you, you're doing it. You got the right connections. You know everybody. I think it's about time. I think we're overdue.
Right.
The world looking at us from a music standpoint. I
Yeah,
think we're way overdue.
I agree. And this
So
is
with
why
that
I'm
said,
hard, man.
I just want to play a little snippet before we leave again for those that missed it. Once again, Padrino, Sunshine, right here on Star 106 Hits.
Good morning, my sunshine, yeah. My baby, let your love shine down on me, yeah. Woke up feeling so heaven, and you're more than enough, yeah. I still choose your love, feeling, give me love, yeah. Give me freedom, yeah. I think I'm done. I'm looking for you know my feelings. I'm still good morning, my sunshine, yeah. My baby, let your love shine down on me, yeah. All your feelings are in love. And you're more than enough, girl. You're just phenomenal, so perfect. Baby, I wear no disguises, 'cause you are worthy, yeah. You can I'm straight in love with your blessing so well. Yeah, good morning, my sunshine, yeah, my baby. Congratulations,
Top 106 hits. Say you heard it here first. Padrino. Yes, Padrino. That's what I said. All right. Right here on another featured Thursday. And Padrino, listen to me. Time always seems to fly when you and I get to catching up. You always come with something hot, something that, will always wow the masses. Um,
Thank you.
can you giving me permission to send this one to Kiara? Well, make sure you hear this.
Whoever, whoever. That boy
All right.
needs records right now.
Listen to me. This one has blown away Beats socks right now. Beats said what you said about Jack. What you said, Jackie Wilson?
Oh yeah. I like the little Jackie Wilson homage that you did.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
love to
Yeah.
be
Oh,
loved.
you got it. You got it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we on to you, Padrino.
Oh,
We
she
lost him
freeze.
again.
Okay, hold
So
on.
yeah, am I here? Am I there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Nah, just some old school vibes with a modern twist. You know what I mean? There's nothing like the old classics, man. To bring us back into what love really feels like. Because I think that is being lost in translation in today's music.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Well, we definitely look forward to what's next because, like you said, this is just one track. Well, one
Yeah.
track that I see is going to do some major, major damage, and I'm happy to say that can we still classify this as homegrown because you're Bahamian?
Of course. My seed was planted in the Bahamas.
Okay, say no more. Homegrown.
Yeah, we just our flowers just grew beyond the constraints of 21/7. That's all.
I love it. I love the way you think, man. Thank you so much. Of course, those that want to follow you, please enlighten.
At I am Padrino on all platforms. You can search me on YouTube, Padrino Music Group. You will find all of my songs there. But at I am Padrino on everything.
Padrino, always a pleasure. And folks, you know what to do. Keep it locked. Top of the hour, 5 o'clock. You're driving fast. Yours truly and DJ AI comes your way. So, Padrino,
Yes.
who you send this to yet? You send this to anybody yet?
No. So listen, only Barry, because me and Barry are really close. Barry the Pusher has been like, I sent him a snippet of this record.
I know he freaked right out. He loved the classics.
I need a dub plate now.
Yeah, I know. Pusha go.
You know how Pusha gets, right? So only him and Extra, really.
It's so nice they had to do it twice. Sunrise Cafe has opened its second location on Fire Trail Road in the Battery Plaza, serving all your favorites, including their famous stuffed snapper, fettuccine, and other pastas, rack of lamb, and all your deli sandwiches and salads. Freshly prepared. Tons of healthy options for all of those that want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Sunrise Cafe number 2. Calling 341-4302.
But no, so only really you three have really had the record so far. It's only been out like a week and a half.
So you are going to, I guess, have a designated day where you send out,
what I really need is somebody that I can have liaison in the Bahamas, that I can send this to, that can blast it to everybody at one time. And that's been rather difficult, me finding somebody that I can depend on for that,
Well, what I'm gonna do with the ones that I can, separate and apart from the DJs, I'm just thinking the radio station. I can send it to Excitement.
Billboard, baby,
I can
do
send
it,
it
leap
to
and make
Big
them
L
dance
for
when
more,
it
so
come
that's
on.
more.
Everybody looking for a dance, go to belong.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and the party can go alright. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm with the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you like. If you're feeling
So
like you need a little bit
whoever
of
I need
time,
to
what you want me
all of it is different. I can hear you.